Hey Brian, good to see you.
You too.
What was that? What was maybe the best thing the offense did today in the scrimmage? If you could kind of pick one thing that stood out to you.
Um, I think probably the kid that elevated the most in the scrimmage, just being able to watch it, not watching the film yet. I thought Drake Owen played his butt off. He made some real big catches, had some big run after catch plays. So that was exciting because he's a new walk on kid that is competing with all the guys that are here and moving his way up the depth chart. So that was pretty exciting when someone like that's new to the program, is kind of elevating with everyone else around them, and making an initial impact.
How would you evaluate the play of your quarterbacks, especially Cam and Jarrett today?
I would say it looked like our first scrimmage, where it's when you watch that first scrimmage, you're going to go back and say some good, some bad, and that's about where they were. It's definitely a learning process for them, and we're putting stuff in fairly fast. So they're making plays, they're missing some things. Things aren't quite as sharp as it needs to be, but that's usually where we're at around the first scrimmage.
Obviously, Cam's had a little bit more time to kind of learn that offense, and Jarrett not so much. But how is Jarrett maybe compared to where you thought he would be after 5 practices and only a few months with the playbook in his hands?
We've got a visitor in the back. One of the great things that Jared has done since he's been here has been the approach to fitting in with the team and trying to learn the offense. He's been very humble. And I think anytime you get into a new offense, especially as a quarterback, that can humble you initially, just because it's not everything that you're used to. So you're relearning some things. And the approach that he's taken to try to develop trust with the teammates and working with Coach Stutz and put in extra time to learn how we do our drops, is going to pay off dividends in the end. So the mental approach that he's taking to try to get better at what we are doing has been great.
Can you talk a little bit about the competition at that right guard spot and who's kind of mixing in, and if anyone's kind of stepped up the last 5, 6 practices?
Yeah, so the first week, we let Connor take a good portion of the right guard reps, and then this week we let Cade take a good chunk of the right guard reps with the first team, and let Connor take some more reps at tackle to get him some work out there. So we're going to kind of reevaluate the two of them and talk about who we want to roll with this next week. I think Cade's been a nice surprise inside because that's been new for him. I think he's handled the transition to moving inside very well. And on the flip side, I think Connor's handled moving out to tackle, which is very new for him as well. So this week it was more Connor spending time at tackle and center, Cade getting a lot more reps with the ones at right guard. And that's the great thing about spring, is getting a chance to cross train your guys. Because as you go into the season, you're trying to get 8, maybe 10 old linemen that you feel great about playing in games. So if you're at 8, those 3 with the 2s have got to be able to play some different positions and different spots.
I know you guys logged quite a few plays out there today, but if there was maybe one highlight play that stood out, can you kind of share what that was, or maybe one or two?
Um, there was a gap scheme play that Borgie ran, that was run into a trap corner. He did a great job bouncing it, hitting the sideline, and I think he scored a touchdown on it. I thought that was a pretty big explosive run, and the types of things we expect from him to do. And then like I told you, I thought Drake Owen made some real big plays for us. And in times of the scrimmage when we were a little bit down energy wise, so that's been great. And those are things that we've been focusing on with our guys, improving from the fall. Was a lot of times as our energy went down offensively, we had trouble getting out of those ruts. And we need guys that are going to be the spark for us offensively, that as you go a 3 and out, that next drive, someone that's going to make a big play to get things going. And he did a great job for us in this scrimmage doing that.
All right, Coach, next question, Zach from Coug Fan. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Good.
Just want to talk a little bit about Penny and how he's done transitioning this year. I know last year was his first year playing running back, coming from linebacker. Just how much has he grown and changed this spring?
He's changed quite a bit. You know, his weight's gone down. He's leaned down and still has gotten stronger. So he's moving better. I think it gave him a lot more confidence. It's still a huge learning curve for him. You know, the change of his body and the change of training for what we do at running back, I think it's improved his quickness. I think he's developing better vision for the run game. His overall understanding of what we do in protection has got to increase, you know, significantly. And just his overall understanding of what we're doing offensively. So there's still a learning curve and a growing process for him mentally that we've got to be working on.
And then for JoJo, what was sort of his off-season focus where he felt, and you guys felt, he needed to improve the most, to get on the field the most this season?
In the off season, it was adding some weight to his body. You know, in the fall, he was fairly lean and didn't play very physical, so he struggled in protection for us. So he's been able to add some weight. He's gotten stronger. I thought he's done a great job this offseason with Dwayne and the strength program. And so far this spring, he's really shown that he's improved his physicality. He's carrying the extra weight well. And then outside of the offseason training, for him, it's been the mental game for us of learning the offense better, understanding where he fits in protection, what his progressions are. So he's playing with a lot more confidence and not just trying to react to what he sees. And he's gotten a lot better in that area, but that's still an area that he needs to grow and get better.
And then I know you guys are using the Catapult system this year. Have you used any of that data to sort of talk with your guys about it or implement anything in practice based on those numbers?
Yeah, it's great for us offensively because our receivers run so much that it lets us track how much they're moving in practice. And then it lets us track their high speeds during practice and then their workloads. So it allows us to try to get ahead of any soft tissue issues where we can see if guys are loaded fairly heavy. And then we also test our guys for hydration on a daily basis, and we compare it with that. Just to try to make sure we're keeping our guys healthy. With the running backs, we use it in a fairly competitive way, trying to see who can hit the high speed of the day. You know, we're also tracking their workload to make sure that they're staying healthy. But it's been great. And I think when guys get a chance to see their numbers of how they compare to the other players on the team, it does create some competition for them and gives them some data to match themselves to their teammates.